Well, hello there. I'm going to show you how to do my knots and lace stitch. And it's a really easy stitch to do. Great for beginners or anyone who wants a fast project that can make you a shawl or scarf in really fast time. And the yarn I'm using, I'm sorry I don't have the label for you anymore, but it's James C. Brett Marble Chunky, and it's a number 5 yarn, and it is the one that is a lot of different shades of blues and green. If you're looking for it, you will be able to find it. That's the colors that are in it. I'll take it out here so I can show it to you, but I couldn't find the label anywhere, but it's quite pretty. And it's a twisted kind of yarn, and it has a very silky texture. So it looks really pretty if you use it in any kind of a project where you want a little bit of shine to your work. And I'm doing it on a 3/4 inch loom. It's the Dairy set of looms, and this is the second one down in the set, 3/4 inch gauge. And the other thing is how I mark the pegs for this stitch. And it's a stitch video, so I'm not going to show you everything about how to do this project, but I'm going to give you tips, because if I do that, you'll be able to actually sit down and make a project with just this stitch video. Now, the cast on I used was a crochet chain cast on. I will link it in the description, so it'll be right there if you want to use it, and I'll also give you a link to the matching cast off, so you'll now have the be able to do both the cast on and the bind off. And then the other thing is I did that, and then I did one row of owl eye stitch. And I have videos on owl eye stitch, but I'm also using owl eye stitch as part of this pattern, so I'll be showing you right here how to do owl eye stitch. Now, the 2 pegs here for the end are because I'm doing a certain end that I like with this, but you're welcome to do, of course, any end you want to if you do a project that is a flat panel like this. But I like this one because it went nice with the stitch, and it's laying nice and flat for me. The other side looks like this, so it looks okay. So if you were doing a shawl and the other or a scarf and the other side showed, it's still going to look really nice. And the edge looks like this, and show you on this side too. The edge looks this. Okay, so I will show you how to do the first row. And what I do is I have a little paper I always attach with a clip, because there's certain things you could forget when you're doing a stitch, which is 2 rows. That's what this one is, and you have to put down your work and a bunch of stuff comes up in your life, and you get back, you'll sometimes are going to go, oh no, which way was I going with this stitch? Which way was I going with this stitch? And then you have to unwrap a bunch to try to find out, or really look at it hard. So what I do is just mark them down, row 1, row 2, what the stitch is, and then left and right if I need to. Am I going left? Am I going right with that stitch, right? And so that makes it a lot easier for me to not forget. So that might be something you want to use. Okay, so after you do the cast on your 1 row of owl eye, you're going to do row 1 of the stitch, and row 1 of the stitch is owl eye. So to start that, you go on to the first peg and do a U-wrap, and knit it over. Then you're going to rewrap that peg and come over the next peg, keeping it loose, really loose. There should be no tension there. And then knit them both over, and then always are at peg 1. And then you wrap peg 1 and 2. Knit them over nice and loose. You're at peg 1, wrap peg 1 and 2. And that's all there is, excuse me, to owl eye stitch. So that's your first row. And it goes nice and quick. You can be very, very loose with it. And then it's even easier to do. And I'm just going to go all the way to the edge because I'm doing an owl eye edge. So it's just done like that. And every time you do it, you're going to do the same edge, no matter what stitch you're doing. So when I come back, I've just rewrapped this peg, and then I wrap over this peg and this peg, and then I do my second wrap as if I'm going to go over that peg, but I don't, because now I'll be doing the other stitch. Okay, so now the other stitch is also quite easy, and all you're going to do is you're going to do an E-wrap, and then another E-wrap, and then a third E-wrap. And then you're going to go to the next peg and do 3 E-wraps. And that's all there is to it. It's a very, very easy stitch. So just 3 E-wraps. So there's a little gear on the computer at the bottom corner, and on your phone it'll look a bit different, but there will be something that can slow down the video if you need to slow it down. Okay, you can see how fast you can just whip along because I've already, so here's where we did the owl eye, and this is the other stitch we just did. So you're knitting over an inch when you do the 2 rows. It goes really fast. Okay, now I'm coming up to the marked pegs. So I'm just going to come up now and go over this peg in a U-wrap, knit it off, come back around and go over it, doing it very, very loose. And I'm making sure that this edge is really, really loose because I don't want it to pull. I don't want it to get any reason for it to curl with these loose stitches. And just knit it over and make sure it's loose. You can always pull it out to make sure that every one is on the loose side. And then do my second owl eye on this one. And then start with owl eye. Just like that. And what you're going to find is this 3 times E-wrapping or triple E-wrap is quite loose, so you're going to want to pull that down. Okay. And then we're just going to owl eye to the end, and I think that should be enough for you to know how to do this stitch because it's just the 2 stitches. And my yarn here is stuck. There we go. I'm just going to make it to the end and show you this edge one last time. So go over here. There's your first stitch for owl eye for the corner. Come over it, knit them both off, keeping this nice and loose. Come back over, no tension, and just knit them. Do your second knit for the owl eye, and then you're into your triple E wrap right here. 1, 2, 3, and that's it. And you just keep going. So I'm going to get this so we can take a close look up so you can see what it looks like. And it's got quite a nice lace effect. And it looks like this way if you're running it this way. Okay, so there you go. There's your fast, easy stitch. So until next time, bye.